come to all fours position on your mat. And in all fours position, I think the best way to show you is this direction. In all fours position, just draw your right knee to the right side. Hug your right knee in. Reach your right leg straight back out. Cross over the right foot to the outside of the left leg. Bring it back and hug it in. Draw the right knee in toward your chest. We'll do this 2 more times. So on the next inhale, take the right knee to the right side. Hug in. Reach your right leg straight out. Rock it to the side here. Park it down. The outer hip, you really start feeling on that move. And come back to center. Hug the right knee in. And last cycle here, reach your right leg out. Pull it in. Stretch it out. Cross it over and park it down. Possibly it's not like the left leg is docile here. Possibly you're starting to feel something there. Lift the right leg up. Draw your right knee in toward the chest. And park your right leg down. Good. Very good. Let's do that with the left side now. So reach your left leg to the side. Hug it in. Reach it straight back out. Cross it over to the side. Lift it back up. Pull it in toward the chest. And now lift it out to the side again. Hug it in. Reach your left leg straight back out. Cross over. Park it down. And bring it back to center. Hug it in toward the chest. And last time here, reach your left leg out to the left side. Hug it in. Reach your left leg out. Cross over. Park down. Lift your left leg up. Hug in toward the chest. And release it down. Chances are your hips have felt a slight difference there. So just come to either downward facing dog or child's pose just for a moment, just to kind of walk it out. Again, today we'll work on just a little bit more openness in the hips to just kind of reaffirm our foundation, the foundation of our very being. When we feel so solid in that foundation, we feel like we can kind of take on anything. Our attitude is really strong. So come back to all fours position. Let's meet there and take your right foot out to the right side. And with the right foot out to the right side, lift the right foot up and tap it down. 2 more. Lift the right foot up, tap it down. Lift the right foot up and tap it down. Come to all fours position. Do the same with the left side. Reach your left foot out. Inhale, lift your foot up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up. You're pulling in from your foot to the pelvis. Tap it down. 1 more. Inhale, lift up. And tap it down. Come to all fours position again. So step your right foot out to the side. And with the right foot out to the side, lift up to parighasana. Lately, I've been just really drawn to do this pose for some reason. So as you reach down through the right foot, just extend your left arm way out. That's it. So you're just getting lots of length. And notice how this back leg really has to work when you're doing that. Now come back to center. Now we'll do the classical way to do parighasana, which is with the foot turned out. So change the turn of your foot. And if you can, keep all those toes down. Do that. Take your right hand down, your left arm up, and reach it over. Just let the right hand just slide down as you just expand so nicely. And inhale, lift yourself up, come to all fours position again. In all fours position, same thing, reach your left foot out to the side, yes. And inhale, lift your foot up, pull in from the foot to the pelvis, tap down. With ease, inhale, lift the foot up, exhale down. Inhale, lift your foot up, press it down. And as you press the full foot down, now lift yourself up to this kneeling position and draw your right arm over to the side. And as you're trying to reach the arm out even further, pull in from the back foot so you get this nice length here as you're extending. And inhale, rise up, turn your foot the opposite way, toward the back edge, and just slide your left hand, reach your right arm up, reach your right arm over. This pose, this gate pose, they call it parighasana. For some of us, right behind the ankle there, when the foot is turned out, doesn't feel so comfortable to us. And if it's that way for you, of course you can turn it, but just see if you can keep all the toes down. Inhale, rise up, and same thing, come to either child's pose or downward facing dog on your mat. So when you find that pose that allows you to just kind of balance out the sides. So in the last round, we were just doing a little bit more hip opening and more lengthening to the side body to prepare us for our standing poses. So whatever pose you decided to kind of pause in, see how you can use this kind of resting pose to just kind of affirm your attitude. So that you come to the mat, this practice, with this attitude of gratitude. And now make your way back to the very back of the mat. So walk your hands back to your feet. And as you do, bend your knees a lot. And take your hands behind your legs. Now, most of us can hold on to our wrist, but again, if you're having some pain and holding on to your wrist with bent knees doesn't work for you, please don't do that. So I'm holding on to my wrists, which are behind my legs. Now squeeze the shin bones in as you come toward a slightly straighter leg, just slightly. Just allow your head and neck to relax. Just keep on pulling the feet in toward the midline as you do this. Now, bend your knees. Walk your hands forward to come to downward facing dog. And inhale, lift your right leg in the air to just open up nicely. Exhale, take your right foot down. Inhale, take your left leg in the air. Exhale, place your left leg down. Inhale, take your right foot in the air. Now turn your right toes out. So rather than facing the sticky mat like they were before, turn your right toes out and really give power to your left hand. So your left hand is pushing toward the front of the mat as you're turning your right toes out. Now turn your right toes in and take your right foot back to the floor. Same thing, opposite side. Lift your left leg up. Just get this nice stretch there to the side. Now turn the left toes out. Really push the right hand so much so that you can open up even more. And release your right foot down. Walk your way to the front of the mat. And at the front of the mat, stay in the forward fold. So again, if you're feeling this too much, you've got to bend your knees quite a bit. So as you bend your knees, just for a little bit more comfort in this forward fold, see about taking your left hand over to your bent right leg. Somewhere, just take your hand to the leg. Bend your right leg more. Start to straighten your left leg. Come towards straight left leg. Bend your right knee even more. Straighten your left leg even more. Reach your elbow down toward the mat. Now, change sides. Start with both knees bent. Take your right hand over to your left leg somewhere. Keep your left knee bent quite a bit, but just gradually come toward a straight right leg. Reach your right elbow down so that from the right elbow through the armpit all the way to the side body, the latissimus there, the teres, you can get these muscles to really lengthen here. And release now. Release your hands back. With both knees bent, your head has been down for a while, so come up really slowly by taking your hands right above your knees and lift yourself just partially up. Take a nice breath in and out. With your knees bent, with your hands to your knees, on the in-breath, just lift your chin and open your chest. That attitude of gratitude is always so expressive when you open your chest. And exhale, just draw your gaze inward. And inhale, draw your heart forward. And exhale, draw your gaze inward. And inhale. And exhale. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. Just stand in Tadasana. And stand really tall in Tadasana. Again, we were down, our head was below our hips quite a while there. So just feel stable on your feet. Feel like the hips are just very much aligned right over your ankles so that you feel that stability in the standing pose. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take your hands down to the mat with bent knees and rise up. Sweep your arms up and reach them back. Exhale with bent knees. Place your hands right alongside your ankles to take your right leg back. Take your left leg back. Come to a plank position and lower yourself all the way down. Stay down. Once you arrive with your belly down, just reach your hands straight back and just lift up your hands just slightly to inhale, rise up. Exhale to soften down. Inhale to lift yourself away from the floor as you reach back. Exhale and soften down. One more time. Inhale, rise up, reach back. Exhale and soften down. Continue that shoulder exploration for just the next couple poses. So if you've got 2 blocks, grab them and place the blocks right alongside your ribs, just so that you have this opportunity to feel what the shoulders lifted, it's really like it just feels like, you've got these wings here that draw in toward the midline. With your hands to the blocks, inhale, rise up, keep your shoulder blades hugging in. Exhale, just draw down. Should give you some freedom by just lifting the hands in this way. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, soften down. A third time here. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, soften down. Now this next one, I'm not so sure how the camera will work on this. You'll take your hands in this cobra pose so that the fingers are pointing toward each other. And on your belly, with your fingers pointing toward each other, your elbows out, press down through the base of the index fingers, and inhale, rise up. You have to really claw the earth, but just notice how different parts of the shoulder work when you do this. Exhale, soften down. 2 more times. Inhale, you pull the shoulder blades in, that same feeling that you had when your hands were elevated on the blocks. Exhale, soften, and 1 more time. Inhale, rise up. Good, and exhale, soften. Now let's place the hands the right way, or the more anatomically correct way here. So with your wrist creases parallel to the front of the mat, hug your elbows in and inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften. 2 more times here. Claw the mat with your fingertip tops so that your wrist creases are not impacted deeply on these poses. Exhale, soften. So you're pulling in, clawing the mat, fingertip top position, so the arches and the palm of the hand are so nicely developed. You rise up, exhale, come back either to child's pose or downward facing dog, your choice. So come to the pose that works nicely for you. So after several of the back bending postures here, sometimes the back just needs to have a rest here. Just move your hands, if you're in child's pose, move your hands way over to the right side. And then come back to move them to the left side. If you're in downward facing dog, just do the same but with your hips. Just move the hips to one side or the other. And let's just continue to breathe in to find that fullness in the back body. And now with this great attitude of gratitude, one of the poses that really expresses so much freedom to me, let's all meet in downward facing dog. And in your downward facing dog, just express the freedom by reaching your right leg up. Now press your left hand as fully as you can with your right foot lifted up. So you get this more grounding action through the left heel. And now swing your right foot forward. It'll come maybe halfway, maybe all the way up. Just settle in here as you inhale, rise up. Balance yourself to rise up. Exhale, take your hands down and step back to downward facing dog. Take your left leg up in the air. Press through the right hand so fully and just kind of notice what's happening to the right leg. When the left leg's lifted and the right hand is really working, you can get the calf muscle to stretch on the right leg so fully. Now look forward and step forward. Move your foot so that you feel balance when you rise up. Reach up and back this time. Exhale, take your hands to the mat, step your back foot forward, place your hands to your low back and lift yourself up. Now grab a blanket or a towel, roll it up very tightly. You can even choose to roll the sticky mat over the blanket. So as you roll this up, let's just stretch the back side of our legs here. So press the feet right on the rolled blanket to take both feet so that the heels are off the blanket, but the base of the feet are on the blanket. So bend your knees, and as you bend your knees, you can just take your hands to the bricks. Bend your right knee a lot, and you'll feel the right heel want to lift away from the mat, which is fine, but just go there. And release your right heel so it feels like very grounded. And same thing, bend your left knee. And as you bend your left knee, again, the right leg comes toward a straighter position. And release your left heel down. Now, let's do the pose that we did earlier, where as you bend your right knee, you take your left hand somewhere to the right leg, and you start to straighten your left leg. Now, this can be a little intense because your feet are, your toes are elevated. You're still trying to keep the right heel down. It wants to lift off the mat. But see now if you can add a lifted spread toes to all this on the right leg. I'm going to add a little extra fire here. Helps you just check in with your attitude a little bit more. Release your right heel down. Bend both knees again. Place your right hand somewhere to the outside of the left leg and start to come toward a straighter right leg as you bend your right elbow and go a little bit deeper in your forward fold. Now again, if you want a little bit more fireworks, you can try to lift and spread your left toes. And now release out of the pose with your toes still on the blanket. Place your hands to the low back and rise up. Keep your right foot on the blanket roll or the towel. Step back. Try to stay balanced here. Step back, take your hands right to your hip points. With your right foot back, bend your left knee. Pause as you draw the right hip forward. Inhale, lift your arms up. Good. Exhale, draw forward. So the back heel will definitely lift. If you've got blocks there, that'd be a nice help here. So you can take your hands to the blocks, lift your back leg up. So your back leg is lifted, the standing right leg is so firm. Now if you're feeling very balanced, with your left foot pressing down, lift your right arm up. And release down. Come back to virabhadrasana 1 where we started. So bend the front knee, root the back foot down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. That was because I was really feeling it in my hip, and this is a hip opening class, so hopefully you noticed it a little bit too. So press the opposite foot here on your blanket roll and step the back foot back a little bit more. Just come into the pose here first as you bend your knee. You know, the whole action of lifting the toes up that's on the blanket roll. We'll just keep that engagement. So lovely. Inhale. Sweep your arms up to come to virabhadrasana 1. Exhale. Draw forward. And again, the back foot starts to get a little bit lighter. Step forward to place the hands to the blocks and lift your back foot up. You might notice one leg feels so different than the opposite. See how you can just kind of manage a nice engagement of the standing leg, an engagement of the lifted leg. And as you're ready, the opposite arm from the lifted leg will reach forward. Get this nice length in that balance pose. Release your hand back to the block. Release your lifted leg back to the floor. Come to the same pose that we started with. Reach your arms up. All right. And exhale, release your hands down. Step your back foot to the blanket roll. Pause there for a moment. Let it work on the calf and Achilles tendon here in this hip opening work. Step your right foot back, bend your knee. Just take your hands down to your blocks. Doesn't matter which leg is back, as long as you get to both sides here. Lift your toes, but keep the base of the foot that's on the blanket very firmly rooted, and draw your heart toward the straight leg. And parsvottanasana. So when you inhale, you'll just kind of naturally lift up slightly away from the leg. As you exhale, you'll just kind of draw down. Bend your front knee, step your back foot to the blanket roll, change positions. So step the foot that was on the blanket off to come to this pose. So first start in this bent leg position. Go a little bit deeper with the hands to the blocks, widen the elbows, draw your heart down toward the straight leg. Soften nicely. So all that shoulder work, hopefully the tall blocks is helping you to get that same feeling that the shoulder blades are almost lifting off the back body. They just feel like they've got so much freedom to move in toward one another because you're pressing the blocks so firmly to gain more length through the side body. Now slowly bend the front knee, balance yourself so that you can step the back foot forward. Place both hands to the low back and rise up. Very nice. Now let's step off the mat and just notice the difference. Come to the same forward fold that we had in the beginning of the class with the knees bent. Take your hands down, release your head. Walk your right hand over toward your outer left leg. So start with both knees bent and slowly start to straighten the right leg. Press down with the left hand as you reach your right elbow to the mat. Bend both knees again. Switch hands. So take your left hand to the outer right leg. Same thing. Start with both knees bent. Slowly straighten the right leg. Go a little bit deeper here in the forward fold. And notice how much freedom you've got on the back side of the legs here. You can probably go a lot deeper. And come back to the center position with knees bent. Place your hands right above your knees. Same thing. Press down firmly with your feet hugging in toward the mat. Lift your arms up, root down to lift yourself all the way up. Release your hands and come either to a squat position or come down to sit all the way in Baddha with your feet in that prayer position. Those of you that can come to squat, just keep on lowering yourself down so you're squatting. Those of us that are coming to Baddha, if you want to sit on some elevation, you might want to unroll your blanket. Those of you in squat, please stay in squat so that you can get this nice hip opener that squats give you, and they just give you such a nice opening to the lumbar spine too. Let's all meet in Baddha with your feet together in this prayer pose. As you come out of Baddha, straighten your legs to come to Dandasana. Bend your left knee with your right leg straight and on the floor. Pass your left foot over to the side. Park your foot all the way to the outside of the right hip. If you've got your strap close by, grab it. If not, you can still do this pose without it. Place the strap right at the base of the foot and inhale, get long, get tall. Exhale, draw your heart toward your toes. Soften down nicely. Even though it looks like a really passive pose, very static here, it's not. It's quite dynamic in what you're doing with the legs. Press down through the baby toe side of your bent leg. Press down with the straight leg heel. And you're drawing in from that heel to the pelvis. Inhale, lift yourself up. Trade sides, so straighten one leg, then the other, and park it alongside the hips. See if you can get the knees nicely aligned up with the strap or without. Just draw your heart forward. So with the inner thighs, you get this feeling like they're just trying to hug in toward one another. With the outer baby toe side of the bent leg, that gives you a feeling like the bent leg is trying to lift up toward the heart. And inhale, lift yourself up, lie on your back now. And as you lie on your back, have your feet as wide apart as the mat is with your knees bent. The knees bent, the feet nice and wide apart, lie on your back. Allow your knees to go over to the left side. Place your left ankle to the outer right knee, if the right knee is fine with that. As you're ready, slowly bring your knees back to center and move them over to the right side, placing your right ankle to the outer left knee. Place your feet in this wide position again. And in this wide position, just draw your right knee in toward your chest. Reach your left leg out, but straighten the left leg and have the left heel just elevated off the mat. So you keep that leg really strong, really vital. Bend your left knee Interlace your fingers around the left leg as you straighten your right. So as you come to a straight right leg, same thing, just elevate the foot just a little bit. Now bend your right knee. Take your hands right at your kneecaps and push your kneecaps toward the back edge of your mat. But pull the kneecaps toward you. You want the legs, all the work we did in the pelvis. You want that work to really show strength here in the pelvic area. So push your knees toward the back leg, or push your knees forcefully toward the back edge of the mat. So you get more lumbar curve. Once you've got that curve, just going to move side to side. Just going to give your gluteus a nice little massage. Park your feet to the mat. Straighten your right leg. Straighten your left leg. And release your arms so that you feel like the legs and the arms are equidistant. The legs are equidistant from the midline. The arms are equidistant from the midline of your body. Soften your facial muscles. Be that expression of gratitude. You breathe in deep. You breathe out long. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Breathe in deep. And breathe out long. Breathe in deep and bend your knees to plant your feet. And breathe out long. Breathe in deep to reach your arms above your head. Breathe out long to just open the chest and feel this just a wonderful attitude of gratitude, this nice openness of the upper chest. Slowly make your way over to the side and come to a seated pose as you're ready. We sit with this nice foundation when we come to the seated pose. The hip openers that we did, we open the outer and inner hips so nicely in the different poses. So allow that to make you come more forward on your sit bones. Place your hands right in front of your heart. Draw your breath in. With gratitude to the teachings that yoga brings to us, we bow. Namaste. Thank you so much.